Open your hearts, loosen your butts. It's time for couples therapy.
Open your hearts, loosen your butts. It's time for couples therapy.
Yay!
Yeah, this podcast is Andy and Naomi's, where they can both laugh and hang with all their homies, talking excellent vacationing with brunches and cuddling, to messy situationships and conscious and coupling, from Netflix hookups to single them with some Hulu, text, sex, regrets, or feeling on your new jubu. They gon' talk about it, yeah, you are invited, needing therapy, I guarantee, baby, we got it.
It's couples therapy. Couples therapy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Couples Therapy. My name is Andy,
And I am Naomi,
and we are a real-life couple.
a real-life couple of comedians.
And on Couples Therapy,
In quarantine,
we talk to good friends, great comedians about love, romance, and everything in between. Today, we're doing something special for y'all
And for ourselves.
and for ourselves.
You know-
I think we needed this as well.
Honey, it's about self-soothing.
If this is your first time you're ever listening to the show, usually what we've been doing in quarantine is talking to a guest about their romantic life and then answering listener advice questions. If you are like Naomi and myself, though, if you have a heart and a soul, if you feel empathy, the last couple of weeks have probably been full of insomnia and anxiety. And
Stressful times.
unless, girl, your Lexapro prescription is like 3,000 milligrams.
Honey, they ain't got enough
You-
milligrams.
They ain't got enough milligrams under the sun.
Honey, ain't enough milligrams for their shenanigans. Okay? I can't cope. I'm on edge. So we decided to have a fun episode. We talked to two of our good friends and great comedians. Honestly, we did it today. They're great friends and
for
great
once,
comedians.
the quarantine intro actually worked.
We are just, and honestly, we just wanted to talk. We always will take any excuse to talk to them, but we thought, let's have fun. Let's give our listeners an hour of fun, and let's experience an hour of fun. So today, we are chatting with great friends of ours, great friends of each other, and great comedians, Aparna Nancherla and Joe Firestone. Okay? We are chatting with them, getting into it, goofing up, learning new
Just
things.
goofing. We are-
really, but we also learned some new things about Joe.
We learned some new things about Joe. I'll say this. I'll tease the beginning of this without saying anything more. But like a very hectic day for me and Naomi.
Oh yeah, right before we did the episode, we had a harrowing tale.
Shh. Sorry, Naomi. I wasn't shushing you. I was practicing my ASMR. ASMR. So that's Fonzie doing ASMR.
Yes.
ASMR. Mr. Cunningham.
That's good, babe.
Hey, actually, Naomi, before we get into the show, why don't we do an update? You know, doing these advice episodes,
Right.
people write in. They also write in after we give the advice, and they tell us what's been going on. Now, if you remember, 2 episodes ago,
Oh yeah.
2 episodes ago,
with Brandon
Kyle
Goodman.
Goodman,
Yes, indeed.
someone wrote into us and asked their mother thought that their mother, who was from Germany, the woman who wrote in, she is biracial. Her mother is white from Germany.
Yes.
And the mother thought that not only was Jew-boo a racist term,
Yes.
but that like when her daughter says something like the whites are really tripping today, that also was racist.
It's racist. And she wrote me. She wrote me and gave us a little update, and this is huge. So I want to share.
We said you should have we said something like you should have a talk with your mother.
Right.
almost
That's
all
where we came down, right?
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
what else
almost
we
all
do?
of our advice. But
Exactly. Have a conversation. So here she says, here's an update I'm very happy to send. My mother is not typically someone who listens when she decides a thing. But after not responding to her messages of cute dogs or memes for 3 days, she sent me a message. More specifically, an apology. I was shook.
damn.
I was shook. My mom doesn't really do apologies, so this was big. She said she was sorry, that she was wrong, gasp, and that she will listen and understands that being from another country means she has some work to do and that explaining racism to a person of color is not cute and has to stop. Can you imagine? Honey, if I could just not respond to my mother for 3 days and get a change, I would be a whole nother person. This is beautiful.
Now,
She put up a boundary.
can we take that as a win for couples therapy?
A win for couples therapy. That was us high-fiving. Did you hear it? That's what happens when sometimes you set a boundary and it works. Sometimes you say, you know what, I ain't talking to you till you get your head right. And then they get their head right. And I said, this is a beautiful beginning. Doesn't that give you hope, you guys? But honestly, you know what, honey? Germans, they know the history. They're willing. They know how things can go south. And they're like, you know what? We need to get it together.
Maybe
I was wrong. You know? So that's beautiful that we could all be part of that.
Yeah. By the way, hey, if you are downloading this the day it comes out and is before 1 p.m. PST, we're doing a special show today to take your minds off. We're giving you everything we can possibly. We have barrels in our shotgun. We have barrels full of fun for you, trying to take your mind off of the living hell that's going on right now. And Liz Winstead, the creator of The Daily Show, put together a full day of programming for you.
Yes, 12 hours of comedians.
12 hours of comedians trying to make you laugh, trying to take your mind off of
the waiting game.
The waiting game.
The waiting game, yeah.
And our show, we're doing our usual Twitch show with some extra fun things at 1 p.m. PST today.
Yes.
4 p.m. EST. And if you go to aafront.org/VNJ,
which stands for Vote No Joke.
Vote No Joke. aafront.org/VNJ. You can see the show there.
Yep, and it's free. Everyone's just going to be streaming. If you're waiting in line, if you are, sitting at home, staring at your TV,
Twiddle
check
your
it
thumbs constantly, refreshing Twitter.
If you're biting your nails, if you are crying, if you are eating all the food in the fridge, come visit aafront.org/VNJ at 1 p.m. PST.
All right.
Okay, whew, guys, we are really making you wait for it because it's a fun one. Let's get into it with Joe and Aparna. Roll it!
So this is the Good Vibes edition. I'm sure there's an intro. I'm sure we've already mentioned this to the listeners. I don't know about you, Aparna, but the rest of us, from so far what I understand, not feeling good vibes. I will explain. This is like about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, God.
10 minutes ago, I went and took some recycling out. Now, we have to get to the recycling area of our apartment.
Outside.
Outside. You have to go through the laundry room, and there's a door to go into the laundry room, and then there's a door to go outside.
Okay.
All right? And then you have to go down these rickety stairs.
Yep, a rickety
that are like termite-ridden rickety stairs.
Right.
And I always shut both doors. I'm so paranoid. I always shut both doors. I come back from putting the recycling in, and both doors wide open. And I flip out, and I
screams. He's like, Naomi. And I'm like, as I'm on the couch, I didn't even know the stuff was wide open. And I'm like, what? And I literally jump up, fucking flailing and tripping over everything.
Yes, like one of those things.
Like car
in front of,
dealership.
Thank
yes, a car
you.
dealership.
I'm like, and then
Yeah.
And Andy's like, the doors are open. He's like, fine. Where's Mabel? Where's Mabel?
The dog.
Mean.
Full panic mode. Fully. This, usually I'm embarrassed to yell. Outside of a performance, I'm embarrassed to yell. I'm embarrassed to show any kind of emotion. And I'm fully yelling so that everyone can hear, where's Mabel? I run outside, Mabel!
And then he's like, locate.
Mabel!
He's like, find the cats. Prembly, the fat one, naturally in the kitchen, sitting there saying, what do you want? But then Squee, we go, cannot find Squee. I'm on the ground. I half dive under the bed.
And it's just has there been a prison break? Have all of our animals, with the exception of the one who just wants us to feed him, have they all escaped?
And
Mabel, could you go back really quick? You have a laundry room in your apartment?
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks like a little, where the laundry machine is. Correct, yes.
Well, I mean, yeah,
That's
it's big enough.
That's an LA thing.
Yes, it's the only reason, honey. It's the only good thing, honey.
That's why people move to LA to do their
Laundry
laundry.
in unit.
Yes.
Exactly.
Hey, we have laundry in unit, and we have strip malls everywhere. It's everything you could want.
And so,
And yes, listeners, that is another $1 in the LA hate jar. All right.
there are no, and then he's like, "Where's Mabel?" And when I tell you, I almost vomited and cried at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm freaking. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And then
What would you call it? Cromated?
Cromated. I almost cromated. Wallace and Cromit. And then what? And then I was there. So then you were out. Yeah.
So we live in a fourplex, 2 upstairs, 2 downstairs. And I run outside. I scream, Mabel, and I'm looking to see if she's like walking around the back area behind the apartments. Our neighbor, like, comes not out of his house. Neither of us have masks because I'm panicking. I didn't have a mask on. I'm just like running out, and he goes from inside his apartment. His door's open. Like our neighbors love a cross breeze, and so I always
they like always leave their back door open, and I'm always like, "Excuse me, honey?"
It's very small town.
I know. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, "This is Hollywood," but he leaves it open.
Yeah, this is Hollywood. Your door should have an agent. So the door open, and he goes, "Hey, I hear from inside. I
Really?
think your dog's in my house."
He is like a deadpan dude. He's like a quiet dude. He doesn't really talk to us. I like made a really bad impression when we first met because I thought he was trying to go into my house, but it turned out he just lived next door. And so we've never really been able to get past that. And so he's like, "I think your dog's in my house."
Yeah, real Daria vibes.
I think your
It
dog's in my house.
sounds like he read for that part because it's such a good take on that line.
It is. And
I scoop Mabel. He says that, and as he says that, Mabel just walks out in front of him, and I scoop,
how deep was she in his house?
I scoop Mabel up in the end of a movie kind of embrace where the lovers have been apart.
Fireman's carry.
Yes. Fireman's carry.
The Bodyguard. I was Kevin Costner, and Mabel was Whitney Houston.
She's always Whitney. But yeah, she had, and like, so we bring, and I'm like, where was she? And I'm just like, and then like, of course, and then like, you know, that moment, like the panic, and then, oh yeah, and Andy's yelling too before he's like, shake food, because
Squee and Prembly come out when you shake dry food. We have dry food. They're wet food only, but we have dry food just in case.
Whoa.
And they love it. They are addicted to it.
So if you shake
They
that
can't
bag,
get
honey, they'll
enough
come
of
and
it.
running. And so
It's like it's like in the commercials where they like the old cat food commercials.
Yeah,
where-
Friskies.
Friskies where they like there's a little like a cowboy dinging a dinner bell or something, and all the cats run to get the food. It's like that.
Yeah.
we're not letting our guests speak at all. I just
We're done after this. This is it. We're done. It's all on your backs after this story. I'm just telling you all where we are right now.
That's like-
coming
I'm
down
still-
from a panic high, and then when Squee comes out, he was hiding under the bed. All three animals accounted for. Slam the door locked.
and then we're just sitting on the floor in front of the door, just like,
Gasping.
okay.
Holding Mabel.
Okay, and she doesn't realize what she's done. She doesn't realize what she's done.
Yeah, she thought she was
No.
just Indiana Jonesing it.
She was just like, she's like, and this is the pride she does even when we take her ass on walks. And this is why I'm like, on a way, I'm like, I used to make fun of him from that door being open, but thank God the door was open because who knows where she would have gone looking for a hot meal. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like,
But she just walked into that guy's house, and the guy just like watched her. Kind of,
that's what I said. I'm like, what was he doing? And he just looks over, and tiny ass Mabel was just in his house.
Well, what would you do? You would just look down and be like, "Oh, hello."
I know, but like, you were screaming, but like, he came. He's like, he just seems so not impressed or bothered by
Yeah.
the situation.
He made the way you said that he said that line. It sounds like he kind of thought you guys did that to him.
Like, put the dog in
Yeah,
his house.
somehow.
Like a prank.
That's
Yeah,
why he
like
doesn't
some-
like us.
Oh, he doesn't like you. Have
Well,
history.
I think he doesn't like me. He's so mad at me.
Do you want? I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but do you want to just tell them the
No,
story?
I just told him how I was like, I thought he was going into my house.
He was sitting. Naomi didn't know who our neighbors were. This is like early on, and he was
Yeah.
sitting on those rickety termite-ridden steps.
Oh no, that
Yeah.
wasn't it. That
That
was
wasn't it?
No, the first time was I had gone out at night to throw something away because I'm sure I ordered food and was trying to hide the evidence. And then as I'm coming back, like I turn around and he's right there, and it was like very startling, you know? And then
Yeah.
he's turning to walk, and he's still like a deadpan guy now, I know. So he's very like, hey, and I'm like, oh good. And then he turns and he's going up the stairs, which is where my door is, and I go, where are you going? And he's like, into my house. I was like, or like, that's my house. And then it was like, he was like, and then I think he said too, he's like, if you were white, I would be real mad. Like he said, and I was just like, and it was like, and we never really came back from that. It's like, do you buy someone muffins? Do you give them a card? How do you really make nice?
Yeah.
I don't know. There
But he
needs to be
saved
something
Mabel.
in between not doing anything and buying muffins. There needs to be like some kind of medium.
Scones,
What?
maybe scones, or maybe some
Oh.
kind of
So
less
wait,
desirable.
So Joe, your pitch is something that's less delicious than muffins.
But
Yeah,
still food.
Yeah,
Still
food.
food.
I was thinking of making. I have a mix for some Trader Joe's pumpkin bread. I was thinking of just making that and bringing that.
That's
over.
pretty high class.
But then here's a question. I feel like I worry about food because everyone's got a gluten intolerance and an allergy
Oh.
and things they don't like. Is it a good gift? And
Right.
you don't want to give.
Yeah.
There was a time where you give someone a bottle of wine, but now you don't know people's lives, which I think is good. Like, we don't do that anymore. Who gives anyone flowers? This is at 1956.
Oh, I know what
What?
you do.
What?
You say, "Oh, I got too many of these." Make it seem like it's an inconvenience for you. You know, that I got too many ants on a log. You want these? You know, that kind of thing. Neighborly.
Just loose celery with peanut butter. You want some?
And raisins.
And
Oh
raisins.
my god.
That's just off the top of my head. But maybe you say like, you know, hey, we got all this tomato paste. People don't think that they need that, but it's actually great. You know, oh, we ordered milk in bulk.
And then give them some milk.
Milk and bulk. Joe, I love how every new idea is less delicious than the last one. It's
Just
soon
a
it's just
jug
gonna
of
be
milk.
like, I got a box of rocks and dirt. You want some? It's too much for me to deal with.
People are always giving away rocks and dirt on Craigslist free section.
What? What are you
This is like a normal thing. There's always someone being like, I got a yard of dirt. If anyone can come pick it up, it's yours for free. I don't know why they're giving away dirt.
there's this I keep looking at Craigslist like just compulsively recently, and there's this person on the pets forum that's like desperate for lizards, geckos, desperate to be the person that takes your lizards and geckos. I don't know what they're doing.
There's a woman like that, but for birds.
Really?
Yeah, she's been posting in the free stuff section as well.
That she wants people's birds?
Yeah.
Do these people say what they want to do with the creatures?
No.
She's like, I can take care of them. I will take your unwanted birds. And then she lists all the birds that she has, like if you need references.
Talk to my parakeet.
Oh my god. You guys, I mean, so, you know, we came in hot. We're like really stressed
Yeah.
out, but like as fellow animal parents, I mean, can you relate? I feel like Joe, you've had Loaf what, about a year? A little less, but he's really put you through your paces. He's looking all cute in the Insta videos where you're cooking, but I know Loaf was a handful.
He's a bad dog. For sure he's a bad one.
Yeah.
But I felt that Cromit feeling recently because we took him to the vet, and the vet, like, you're not allowed to go into the vet anymore, and
Yeah.
so like they call you when they're giving the whatever, touching them, you know, feeling whatever, and so like usually they call if something bad has happened, right? Like that's what happens, and so they called like right away, and they're like, "Is this Loaf's parent?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's going?" And they're like, "How are you?" And I was like, what's wrong with him? Is everything okay? And they were like, "Yeah, he's just a little overweight." And that, but it was like, it made me so anxious, and I was
Yeah.
like, why did it?
Oh, no.
You feel like so responsible for this little creature.
I know. And Parn, didn't your daughters recently have surgery? Your infant daughter?
They got spayed. I can't believe they get the surgery so early. It seems wrong.
How young are they when they get it?
They were like 5 months when they
That's
got
actually late too.
it. Is that late?
I feel like they get it around 3.
That's so
Yeah, because
young.
they can start having babies like at a year.
Oh, that's
So
why.
they want to shut that down, you know.
When do they get their periods?
Probably
Month
a year.
6. Oh yeah, no, 1. Yeah, exactly. I guess when they can have babies.
Oh, right.
But
I know how it works.
Do cats have to wear diapers like dogs do for
menstruation.
menstruation?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or
I
are
heard
cats free bleeders?
Did you guys hear of this new term for what they're calling dog diapers? They call
No.
them belly bands.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I wonder what that was. I was like, why does that dog have on a back brace? Because of where it is in a boy dog, it's kind of around their middle. Because it's like holding the penis in.
You said belly bands?
Yeah.
Belly bands.
I thought that was something else that people wear.
That-
Could be, but for the animals, it's definitely the diaper.
Yeah. For boys, for lady dogs, it's like a full diaper. But the boys, if they're incontinent, you want to strap that puppy peen to the belly and put an absorbent maxi pad under
I have a
it.
diva cup for Mabel.
I mean, that is honestly fitting for her, a diva cup.
Does Thinks have a line of canine menstrual panties? Mabel, we by the way, we're all planned to tell very cute stories about Mabel. Like this morning, twice Mabel has stolen Naomi's underwear out of the hamper.
A real
What?
scamp. She's a real scamp today.
Specifically your underwear.
Yes, and the hamper. You see Mabel? She's short. The
She
hamper
is.
so tall.
How
I
did she
don't
get-
know how she's doing it.
There's like that dog show that I forget. I think I sent it to you, Aparna. The woman, the
did.
British woman, and they always speed up the bad behavior of the dog and put it to hard metal music so it feels even more horrible. But there's one where the little dog is taking all the underwear from the women and he's ripping it up and he's just running all over it and he's chewing little holes and it shows like dramatic shots of it. And the woman's coming in, she saves the
What
underpants.
show is this? I want to
It's
see
this
this.
British dog behavior show, and it's like this stern woman comes in and just shapes your dog up.
Yeah, it makes you keep chicken in a bag by the door. It's like your whole life is different after her.
That is prize treats. We had a German woman who was all about, honey, she had me boiling chicken. I went to Trader Joe's, I bought chicken tenders, boiled them in a pot, shredded them up.
But why do you need them near the door?
Like if a dog barks every time a stranger comes
Oh,
in, then
okay.
you staple the baggie to the door. That way, there's
What?
chicken always there for the stranger to take the chicken, throw it down.
Okay.
That can't be good chicken. That can't be fresh
I
door
know. You guys
Door-
change it every hour?
chicken every hour.
Can you imagine someone walking in though and they're just like, "Oh, door chicken, thank you."
Just like having a nosh. I couldn't believe it. I was sickened. I'm sickened by the idea of door chicken.
Ugh.
But I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
But Aparna, how are you adjusting to motherhood?
It's good. I feel like my partner, he's a much more attentive parent than me. So I kind of always feel like the deadbeat coming in, with less care. But then I also feel like I'm the mean one too.
So
Like
you're the mean deadbeat? That's the
Yeah.
worst. Like usually deadbeat's nice. Deadbeat dad's got to come in and have some fun.
Yeah.
You got to bring
Dickensian.
presents to make up for your absence.
Yeah, you stop
I
that
don't know
sitcom
what
and grab
I'm
some
doing.
cassette tapes to give to your kids.
I don't
Yeah.
think you're mean. What are you doing that's mean?
Like when they're bad, I'm just I like clap and I say no and I put him down. But he's just picking him up, putting him down, never saying a harsh word to him.
Picking them
Sometimes
up,
though,
putting them down.
sometimes to be mean to an animal is to be nice. When you're like, don't
Yeah.
eat that. You're saying, don't eat that. It's an M&M.
It's gonna
But
make
they-
you sick.
Yeah, they just think it's don't eat that.
I was had the oven open the other day to put something in, and she looked like she was gonna jump right in there. I was like, you can't do that.
No. Wait, what's your... I can't imagine your firm voice, Aparna. What's your, because when you really want them to know no, you got to use a different voice than your speaking voice so they know they're in trouble.
I say no.
All right. All right. All right. Maybe I do it.
What's your no?
No! Or I can drop down. No. No, I think it's like, no.
What was that? Yes, no, that's it. Use the same one for me too.
Yep. No, Andrew. Joey Fire. I'm loving the sweater action you're giving me today. I'm sensing
Great
you're both giving
sweater.
us sweaters, but
It's cold here.
It's
Oh,
cold here.
tell me about fall. I miss
It's
it.
raining and it's cold and the rain's coming from different directions. So even if you had an umbrella, it doesn't matter. It's going to come
Still
from
get wet.
below.
It's
It's
gonna
raining
get ya.
from below.
It's gonna get you.
I miss that.
Oof.
I mean,
miss
I don't miss being in it. I miss
Seasons.
holding a coffee mug and looking
Yeah.
out a window while that happens.
A big mug that you have to hold with two hands, you know?
Yes.
Oh, very Folgers commercial.
Oh, I was thinking a very like Lexapro commercial.
Well, same.
It could be either.
Like
There's
you
a
hear
lot of
someone
overlap.
calmly reading side effects while you see me doing that.
Yeah. That's like fun.
Have you noticed that drug names are they're really running down to the bottom of the barrel?
Like what?
Yeah.
Like the other day, what was it? It was like Zibolo.
What is Zibolo for?
It sounds like that's like a street name in Greenpoint.
Yeah, it did sound like, it just seemed like a bunch of like they weren't even trying. I think it was for like, I don't know, like flimsy throat or something.
Flimsy throat.
Lindsay Throat.
I don't remember what it was for.
Oh my god.
But it was something where I was like, who is that a known condition?
Maybe that's why they get Zibolo. They get the last drug in the bin. It's like
Max.
It's like, what do you got, flimsy throat? Let me see. Blah, 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 take a Zibolo,
Wet
honey.
arms. Is that Zibolo?
Wet
Dry them
arms.
off.
Wet arm.
It's like Big Pharma has just a bunch of adjectives and a bunch
Yes.
of body parts, and they're just like, we'll take an adjective from here and put
Yep.
it over here.
Yeah.
Weird foot. This guy's got weird foot.
Dusty eye, weird foot, wet arm, chunky
I have all those.
tongue, chunky
have
tongue.
everything.
Chunky tongue. Ooh, that sounds bad.
You got a bad case of chunky tongue. You guys, you both have lovers.
David, you become so professional at this podcasting game.
Well, it's more like I think Joe is a little distracted and weary. And I know Parn has another podcast, so I want to make sure I keep it moving for them. You know, because Parn has to save her energy for her second podcast, which will be filmed. And then Joe,
That's what they said.
like, but it's true though. It's like when a podcast is being filmed, it's like, okay, now I have to actively listen.
Right.
So that's why I was like, I want to keep it moving.
Sorry, folks. Can't check your Twitter when someone's filming you.
You can't. It's like sitting on a panel when no one's talking to you. My
Do you
nightmare.
guys stay engaged the whole time you're in a group Zoom meeting? Like that's for work related?
Nope.
I don't.
But I'm also paranoid about someone seeing where my eyes are going. So I do a lot of like where I make it very like broad gestures as if I am like when I'm really like moving the cursor so that I can check Twitter or something like that. It looks like I'm really contemplating something out the window, like, but it's like way too performative.
Right.
Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah, what's his vibe here?
Show
Okay, he's looking
the
off.
podcast audience.
But
what
now-
it is.
I'm
Right.
like staring off. There's a deep existential sigh.
But that's
my
not-
Right.
chin is on my hand.
But where's the actual Twitter? You're not looking at the thing you're secretly looking at.
Oh, it's in periphery. Like I move, and then as I'm doing
Oh.
that gesture, I'm moving the cursor in the periphery to go to Twitter, and then when I come back, I'm on
That
Twitter.
is so much thought into it. I don't even see where my face is looking when I stop paying attention.
I have not had to do too many of them, but I had to do one, like in a group where literally after lunch, I just turned my computer off. My camera off. I was like, I'm too full. You can't look at me. And that's just what I set up for the group. That's a fact. And I did it, and I had it off for like 40 minutes, and then I was like, okay, fine. I guess like I have to like fucking look at them. But yeah, sometimes you just can't be bothered, you know?
I'm
Wait,
sorry. Do you guys hear a squeaking?
We do not.
Okay,
No.
good.
What
Because
you got?
my dog has taken the squeaky toy and is just biting it repeatedly right next to the mic.
Loaf.
He looks like such a stuffed animal. Like Loaf
He
does not
does.
look real.
He looks like something you would buy in like a big toy store in London.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he'd be in a bin. He's been in a bin at Harrods.
A bin in England, Naomi, is the trash can.
Oh.
Okay.
I want to go back to
Okay.
something from before. Have you guys has a
No,
stranger
I want to
ever
go back
given?
to that moment. I want to go back.
And now I want to go back to before. Before Andy's before.
Guys, that's the thing. No matter guest or host, you can go back to any moment
In a
in
conversation.
the past 20 minutes you want. It's up to you. This is a choose your own adventure. Good vibes only. I'm going to scream it into the universe. So.
Oh, Jesus.
Has a stranger ever given you food that you have accepted? Like,
we're going back to
hear
before.
Before.
this is before
Okay.
before. This is the before.
But trick or treating doesn't count.
No.
No. I don't know if I would feel comfortable trick or treating as an adult, and not just because I'm an adult trick or treating. I just mean taking. Now my head is full of like razor blades.
Oh.
Dude, we ordered dinner like a week or so ago, and they brought the wrong order. And it was annoying as hell, but it was
Yeah.
still food.
Yeah.
And one of them was a mushroom risotto. Andrew's vegetarian. I was like, Andy, eat the risotto. And he's like, I'm not eating that creep food. He would not eat it. I was like, it's from the restaurant, and it's
Yeah.
He
It's
wouldn't
not
eat
like
it.
someone made it in their home.
But I'm saying, if that's how Andy feels about like the wrong order, as you
Right.
can imagine, he's not eating a
What
fucking
if?
loaf from
Yeah.
a neighbor.
What if
Oh.
that the person that ordered that food, the chef, was like, I hate this person. I'm gonna poison their
Oh.
food.
Yeah. Yeah, what if? That's something
What
that you
if?
should definitely think about. But I think that maybe also, I don't know, I was thinking about like if that's happened to me, like it's been a friend of a friend has offered me like, oh, I made cookies or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I can always taste them,
Right.
the person.
What?
Wait, what? You mean you can taste the person in the cookie?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Can't
What do you? Can you elaborate on what you mean by taste them?
Okay, if I made cookies, and we're friends, if I made cookies,
Yeah.
and then I also had my neighbor make cookies, don't you think you could taste the difference?
Between your neighbors and yours, and in a blind taste test, say, "Oh, this one is definitely Joe."
Yeah.
No.
Well, like you know that I'm gonna kind of okay, just based on my personality, you can kind of tell like I'm gonna make kind of like a wet cookie that's kind of like kind of a little bit misshapen. Maybe it's like that's the kind of cookie I'm gonna give to you. Whereas my neighbor, who's British, is probably gonna give a crispy cookie.
Okay, maybe if I knew more information about the neighbor, I could. But between a person I didn't know and you, I don't think I would know.
It's not like you have like famous cookies, Joe. Do you know what I mean? Like if you were like, these are Joanna Firestone's chocolate chunky peanut butter, but you don't.
But can't you like when you start when someone gives you a pencil, and then you have their handwriting?
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
Wait, someone gives you a pencil and then you start to write their handwriting.
Yeah, that is
Uh-oh.
real.
You really got Andy good.
You got him good, Joey. You got him good,
But
Joey.
that's a real thing. Don't you agree? Is this not something you feel is true?
If someone gave me a pencil, I would at first write like them. No.
Yeah, Aparna, for real? Yeah. Because honestly, if you gave me your pen right now, I'd have nice little handwriting.
I can't even think of what other people's handwriting looks like off the top of my head.
It would come out in the pen.
I've never had this experience, but
Me neither,
what
but
I've
I'm
been-
open to it.
Exactly, and I feel like there's almost like, to me, there's a moment, there's sometimes elements of Joanna's quirkiness that are like, did you go to Hogwarts? You know what I mean? This idea that you would take someone's handwriting or taste their soul in a cookie. That's very Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and
is.
Wizardry to me.
It's like the transitive properties of objects.
Uh-huh.
But the transitive properties of people.
Yeah, into the objects.
The objects
Right,
are like a
into the
conduit
objects.
for your soul.
Yeah.
A Horcrux. Bring it
Yeah,
back.
Horcrux, if you will.
And I will. And I
Aparna
will
and
indeed.
Aparna got me into a new children's book series.
What is it?
I don't know
Oh,
if you
yeah.
heard about it, but it's pretty much Harry Potter up and out.
Ooh, what's it called?
It's called the Mysterious Benedict Society.
Ooh.
It's good.
Is it fun?
It's fun, yeah. It's like 4 kids. They're all orphans, and then they all have chosen for their special talents, and then they go on adventures.
I love when kids have special skills. But also, what is with children's stories, movies included, and orphans? It's like in Disney, they all have a dead
It's
mom.
true.
You know what I mean? Like, and then like Harry, like what is it with orphans?
Oh yeah, John Belair's, I think. He's
Yeah.
lives
Oh,
with
I
his grandfather.
love John Belair's.
That's my favorite. My dream
He's
was to
so
get enough
good.
power in Hollywood to do a John Belair's movie, and then someone
I-
did it, and it was just a mess.
What is John?
I
Belair?
took Joe to that movie, and I was so mad that it wasn't. I wanted it to be different.
What movie?
movie?
Like what book? I don't
The
know.
House with the Clock in its
Oh.
walls.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
John
Yes.
Belair's wonderful children's novelist. All the books that I have are illustrated by Edward Gorey.
Yes, all the covers.
And it's just wonderful, and it's just like one of those. It's like that to me is like I was gonna say peak childhood experience, but that's a very influential thing in my childhood that turned me into the man I am. But wait, is this what's this other one? The Benedict Society, QAnon. What is it called?
QAnon. It's called QAnon.
It's called QAnon.
QAnon
for
for
kids.
kids.
For kids.
And the kids is spelled with
Spell
a Q.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
For kids.
QAnon is kind of for kids, right? They're out there trying to make sure they don't no one has sex with them.
Who?
Fair.
QAnon.
Is the author a turf? I just gotta know about the politics. I don't want another J.K. Sitch.
Yeah. I don't.
it's like-
I don't think the author is a turf.
Great.
Okay, that's
Also,
cool.
the author is a man, but I am assuming men can still be turfs.
Yeah.
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 So okay, the Benedict Society, Joey Fire. What are some of the things that are making you happy lately? What's giving you a tickle? What's making your lips? Joe looks.
Joe looks terrified.
Joe looked as terrified as I did when I realized both doors were open.
She's like, what do you want? I mean, look, I'm fully aware that she is sitting as low as someone could sit on a couch and still be considered sitting. So I'm fully aware. But I asked that on purpose because I thought maybe Joe might need to also tell herself the answer to this.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, so I'm really into reading books and eating while reading the books. I'm about 2/3 of the way through my 5-pound box of licorice, and
Whoa.
and sometimes in the morning, Loaf will use his paw to articulate.
That's sweet.
But
I love
those-
when they use their little paws.
It was very sweet. Mabel does that. She will do this little this thing like please scratch me, and she does it to both like where she moves her paw back up and down.
Oh.
And she's done it to both me and Naomi, and she's also done it to one of the cats. She did it. I put a
come on.
video on Instagram, but she like goes to Prembly and she went like this, and she like ended up accidentally hitting Prembly's paw, and he
And,
like
and of course, the whole time he's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You know, his whole energy is like, why are you so extra? Is how he feels about Mabel since she's very extra. That's very sweet.
But
That's
basically,
so
what a lot of times what happens is Aparna tells me something that she's doing that's like for self-improvement, and then I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea, and then I try to do it. So like the other day, I hope you're okay. Well, if it's okay, so
I
the
don't
other
even
day,
know. I'm like, what have I done for self-improvement?
You were like, I'm gonna try not looking at my email first thing in the morning,
Oh, right.
and I was like, oh my gosh, what would that be like? And so then I started trying that, and that was really cool and
That was
good.
good.
But I've been trying to put dust in my coffee and stuff.
What kind of
What?
dust?
You know, like the dust, like the ashwagandha.
Oh, okay. Is that what is that for? For memory or for calm or?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Nobody knows that I can see, and so people keep just telling me to put it in there, and mushroom powders.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
is this?
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
I hate the taste of coffee already. So when you say like coffee and a mushroom powder, it sounds like a punishment, like something you mix up at camp and dare someone to drink.
Yeah. Everyone's pushing this new mushroom powder, chaga or something.
What's it supposed
You
to
guys
do?
heard of this chaga?
No, what's it supposed to do?
I don't know. It's just like the new matcha. It's
Oh, chaga's the new
chaga. It's
matcha.
like brown.
And they don't tell you what it will do. They're never
Right.
like, this is going to make you better, because you can't really, it's always like, it's incremental, and it actually improves over time. So you got to just keep buying it. Like, I got these oils that you're supposed to put in your drinks that's supposed to fix your personality flaws. And they,
Just any flaws?
no,
I'll
you
take
go,
two.
you go online and fill out what your personality flaws are, and then they give you the oils for those.
Who's
That's
they?
that's
Yeah.
very. This is very Hogwarts.
Yeah, is it Nexium? Who's they?
Yeah, who's giving you oils? Where are you getting them? Are you going on Craigslist? Is this why you're on Craigslist all the time? Someone's like, I've got oils. I need
She's on the
geckos.
Oils
Yeah, I'll
and
trade
potions
oils for geckos.
thread.
Like oils for geckos.
Yeah, oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be something like, that's a real sequel.
That's what we
It's
call
a sequel.
Wait, no, sorry. I don't. Hold on. Who's manufacturing these like magical oils?
Let's see. I get it from, let me see. I believe it's called naturedirect.com.
Nope. Nope, don't trust it. Nature Direct.
Yeah, naturedirect.com. And they
Woodlandtoyou.net.
And what? Tell me more, Joe.
and you're just supposed to put them in, and it's supposed to really make you a better personality.
And what do you think? Is it working so far?
Well, I have 3 major flaws that I'm working on right now, so I just keep trying to put in the, depending on which flaw is dominant that day.
Can you share, or do you want to keep it to yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure. I take something called, I believe it's called, let me see, grout.
No,
What's happening?
grout is not that.
What is grout?
Grout is something you get out of your pipes.
No,
Oh.
grout's like what keeps, like, you use it to hold tile together.
Oh, right, yes, that's
Hold
what I
on,
meant.
let me. I'm gonna go check because
I'm
I
taking
guess
this
it's
is
not
called paint
grout.
thinner. This is
Paint
called
thinner.
sealant.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Oh, there we go.
Whoa, I hear lots
love-
of clinking of tinctures.
Joanna will always give you a multimedia experience, and that's
Yeah.
what I
This
love the
is
most. To be
real-
around the apartment, to be
Oh,
hearing
yeah.
the tinkling of tonics and tinctures.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Aparna, by the way, that is a great title for something. A clinking of tinctures.
A clinking of tinctures. That sounds like a children's series about witches. That sounds like one of the books.
Oh my god, we should write that, and the 3 of us should be the witches.
Oh my god.
Andy, you
I'd
can like
take-
you can be our familiar.
Yes.
I'm totally behind the camera now. I don't need to.
Yeah. No, I
You
mean
three.
a book.
This
People
is
who
what
witches.
is a clinking of tinctures. It's you 3.
Clinking of tinctures.
A clinking of tinctures. It's you 3. It's
Yes.
like a updated Hocus Pocus.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or an indie. It's an indie Hocus Pocus.
Right.
Ooh.
But like, I mean, yeah, I'm Bette Midler, sure.
I see it.
Aparna, naturally Sarah Jessica.
Sure.
Joe, Kathy, and Jimmy all the way.
Okay.
And we go to this town, and we actually like don't want it to be Halloween all the time. We think that's like too tacky.
Yeah.
Like we don't even like Halloween as it is. It's like ew, too commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to be All Hallows Eve again.
Yes, and like maybe
Yeah.
Joe was like putting the tincture in people's drinks to fix their personalities. Like that's her witchcraft is like this kid's a real brat. Tincture, and then the kid's good.
Maybe
Sorry, so
something-
what was it called again?
maybe
Guys,
it
this
could be
idea has
called-
legs.
Maybe it could be called Crocus Focus.
Yes.
Okay, so this is okay. It wasn't called grout. It was called gorse.
Oh, gorse. That sounds like an old. Isn't that like an old timey word for goose? Gorse. Gorseberries.
What, Barn?
Gorse. Isn't that an old English way of saying goose?
I have no idea.
Is that
Maybe
in
I made
Canterbury
that up.
Tales?
That's what I thought so. Maybe I made that up.
Well, it contains 27% alcohol, and it's supposed to help with hopeless people.
Hopeless hopeless like depressed or hopeless like
No,
oh,
I have a different one for depression. This one's just for hopelessness. So
okay.
the other one is for joyless people. And that's
My God.
Okay.
These are all synonyms for depression.
I know. I'm like, this is all hopeless, joyless.
This one's for my sadness.
This is for sadness. Wait, okay.
This is
Okay.
for my desperation.
You're also telling me it's 27% alcohol. What is the other 73%?
LSD.
Yeah, I'm like, what's in it?
okay.
Uh,
Okay, so it says the only ingredient is 27% alcohol. It doesn't say any other.
It's just alcohol.
You cannot take this.
It's
You can't-
alcohol and wishes.
That's where the inactive ingredients wishes.
Yeah, I gotta use it by April 2024. That's when it expires. But yeah, I gotta take this grout and this
Gorse.
gorse. Yeah, gorse and yeah.
What's the other one called? What's the one? I need something for joyless people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe something for anxious people, or like
no,
terrified people.
if you wanna be able to speak, you should take agrimony.
Wait, to be able to like just speak, period? Like if I was mute?
Yeah.
Or
If you're having
speak.
trouble speaking, agrimony. I
Oh,
take
You're taking. Why are you taking that?
Joe, what is happening? I feel like you've given your life over to tinctures.
Joe is just like in a roomy sweater and like cannot keep her hands away from her face. And she just has an array of tinctures for hopeless people.
Hey, can I ask you guys seriously though? Did anybody send me an Ethernet cable?
Oh, you got one in the mail?
Yeah, from
No.
Best Buy.
Best Buy. But you hadn't ordered it or anything
Mm-mm.
like that.
No, but it's sent to me. I just wanted to know if anyone said that to me.
Could it be for some work that you do? Because sometimes they like it when you have that, so that your internet connection is
Yeah, is it
better.
like a VO something? Voiceover or something where they want to like patch you in?
No.
Did Max Fun send it over?
No.
Mm.
No, they don't really talk to me anymore. I want. Okay. Well. Okay.
All right, well, free
Listen, I
Ethernet
didn't-
cable. Free Ethernet cable.
Did you
Yeah.
like help someone's dog? And maybe that was their like, I don't know what to, I can't send her muffins. It's too much. What about an Ethernet cable?
I have
Oh
so
yeah,
many-
I
have so
think
many
Ethernet cable is the in between point.
Yeah,
between
one-
muffins and nothing.
Between muffins and nothing, there's Ethernet cable.
You'd be doing me a favor. I have a closet full of them. Take one off my hands.
Parn, what are some of the things that are bringing you joy lately?
I'm also gonna say reading. I've been reading a lot, but it's funny how with anything that you do for self-care, it's such a fine line between it being positive and then it becoming a compulsion. At least for me, I feel like I spoil everything by doing it obsessively, and then it's no longer fun.
Even something like reading.
Yeah, I thought reading was safe, but now it's like whenever I'm trying to procrastinate, I pick up a book and I read it with this intensity that feels sick.
Okay, so not fun anymore.
How
Yeah.
fast are you flipping the pages?
I don't flip that fast.
You lick them?
No.
She's just
Oh,
staring
the
him
people
down.
lick. You
Yeah.
mean the lick and
Oh.
flip? I never understood that. I was like, how is everyone okay with this?
I know. And also, like, I saw someone do that to a library book. I said, "Oh, honey, that's how fucking COVID came over
Over
here."
here. Okay, that's where that
Yeah.
started. Some
That's
bitch
why
licking-
library.
Oh,
That's why they're putting library books in quarantine.
yes.
That's what they
Really?
do at my library. When you return it, they sit there for 72 hours because of all these lick flippers.
Thank you. That is right. That should have been happening all this time.
Yeah.
Because people are really out here licking and flipping.
People are pretty gross. I found a booger in a library book.
Oh!
I'd never go to the library again. I burn it to the
Oh,
ground.
I found that before too.
Don't you find
That's the danger when you read children's books.
I just got a COVID test, one of those ones yesterday, and it did feel like a witch was getting a booger.
Yeah, they go really high.
They go in deep. But,
Yeah.
okay, I've been getting them 3 times a week. They've been doing throat. So the first 2 times they were in the nose. But now they've been in the throat. But I said, I like the nose because that really makes me feel like I'm getting answers.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Something about the throat cheek is like a little too like, are you sure you're getting the germs? It's like when they get up there in the frontal lobe, that's how you know they've gotten answers.
Yeah, I think she touched my brain.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's very Nurse Ratched.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
By the
And
way,
you-
on Netflix
yeah.
now.
Oh,
On Netflix.
yes. Thank
I was
you.
not
yes.
referring just to the Ken Kesey character. I was referring to the new series that's sponsoring this episode of Couples Therapy.
It's
Couple
pretty-
Therapy Good
yeah.
Vibes, brought to you by Nurse Ratched.
Now streaming on Netflix.
Wait, Aparna, do you eat while you read?
I'll eat snacks sometimes, but then I feel like I just end up eating all the snacks at once and then going back to the book.
Oh,
I have
really?
I have a tough time just like having a hand in a bowl and another hand with the book.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes, me too, though, because I can't hold a book, any book worth its weight. I can't hold with one hand. If it's worth the reading, it's a two-hander.
It's
Yeah.
a two-hander.
So
What are you in the middle of now? The Bible?
yes, King James edition. You know? So
And you can't get Dorito dust on the Bible.
not on the Lord.
Oh no.
How often do you guys talk? Like in a day? Or do you text a lot? Do y'all like
Each other.
each other?
Not just talk. How often do you guys
Talk.
say words into the
We
world?
need-
Joe's got a tincture. So
Joe's got a
she's
tincture to help.
for that.
Yeah. Well, what would you say? I would say that we definitely talk. At least I'd say we talk to hear each other talk.
Mm-hmm.
At least 1.5 times a week.
1.5 times a week.
But then I'd say we text.
Every day or every few days?
Yeah, I would say every day, and if it's every other day, it feels weird for me.
Interesting.
I wonder what's she doing?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Were you bosom buddies right away? I'm assuming you guys met like obviously doing comedy or something, but Joe, because you're a little bit younger than us, like I don't know what year you moved to New York.
I moved to New York in 2010.
Oh, okay.
And I moved to New York in 2012.
Oh.
But
Why did I think you were here before, Pine?
I think I had visited before. I think we first met each other when I was visiting.
Oh, okay.
You were out here in LA, right?
Yeah.
I see.
But I think I was there for the summer of 2010. Because it was right before I moved to LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. So you guys were just like thick as thieves, but bosom buddies right away?
Well, I think that from my perspective, I
Yeah.
was like, Aparna is so cool. I can't be friends with her. It's just not going to happen. But then my friend was like, oh yeah, I'm friends with her. And I was like, for real? You're just friends with her? And he was like, yeah, I just asked her to get lunch. And I was like, you could just ask her to get lunch?
Who was that?
That was Chris Duffy. And he's like, yeah, I'm getting lunch with her a lot. And I was like, you can get lunch with her a lot? And then I was like, okay, I'm going in.
So you made the first move.
I don't remember what the move would have been, but I do remember I was on the more aggressive.
I think I remember I did a judging spot at Joe's Punderdome.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
It's funny because I feel like both of you, though, you have in common that you're people who I feel like are universally beloved in the community. Like, I don't know a person who's got a bad word to say about either of you. I don't know anyone that's like, everyone's like, I gotta get near those two. Not necessarily at the same time, you know what I mean? Not necessarily together. But I feel like it's very interesting that you two are just...
Universally beloved.
Yes,
Well, that's
even...
very nice. I feel that way about you guys too.
Yeah, I
do
feel that way
try
about
to
you, too.
personally date as many male comedians as possible to leave a row of shit and blood. So just in case it's you get the impression that I do not have enemies. I do, and they don't talk to me.
But like, it's just interesting because I feel like both of you have created comedic personas that are about, in part, being a little isolated, being, you know, like kind of bringing the
right.
depression and the gorse and
The gorse.
you know, and the tinctures. That it's just like funny because it's like everyone wants to be around two people who pretty much project "leave me alone."
Well, you too. I mean, why don't we throw you into this?
Let's throw you in the mix.
But I don't think people want to be around me.
Yes, they do.
No, they do.
No,
Yes, they do.
Mine is
Yes,
aggressive.
they do.
No,
You know what?
they
I'll tell you
want to be
something.
around
I'll tell you something. I know what you're doing here. I know what you're doing. You know what you're doing?
What?
This is the reason you have an Android phone. Everybody wants
What?
to text you. Everybody wants you on these group texts, and you say, "No, I'm going to keep an Android phone." You keep it, you know. And I see what you've done. And I every day I think she should get an iPhone. Please get an iPhone, please, God. And guess what? She keeps the Android. Andy, do you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Yes, he does.
Yes, you do.
Oh my
I got it
gosh.
And why
I
wouldn't
got-
they be
Wow.
on a family plan? Why wouldn't the
We
husband
are.
like-
Wow.
But she
And why
she still
doesn't she have an
refused.
iPhone? Why no iPhone?
I
You got an interphone relationship.
interracial interphone relationship. I don't know. I have an iPhone for playing games right now.
What?
What?
She got a, when Mythic Quest did the quarantine episode. They sent everyone iPhones to film on. And Naomi's like, "You're not getting this back."
No, they said they were like, "Who wants it?" Like after, because I could be like, "I better get an iPhone out of this bitch," and then like
They didn't say. By the way, they didn't say who wants it. You were like, "I want this thing," and they're like, "I guess so."
No, but like after they got everyone's footage, they then sent out an email saying who wants an iPhone.
Oh, I thought you would mention. You just
Oh,
kind of
no, I fully mentioned it.
offhandedly to
Oh,
someone.
I fully mentioned it. Made sure I was on that email when they were giving it out.
Everything you touch on a set should be yours afterwards.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
All
If
clothing.
they make the clothes fit you, you might as well keep them. Nobody
Thank
else has
you.
that body, you know?
I think especially if you are like, you know, I'm like a 10-12. They don't let people who are 10-12s act often, which means if you've got 10-12s, those are my clothes. You know what I mean? Like, you're not using those again until I come back. So I might as well keep them.
I once had a bra that was too ugly and it was too visible. The ugly bra was visible, and I have a very weird bra shape. It's like what would you say? It's like I got two large ostrich eggs connected to my shoulders, and so they had to get a specialty bra. They can't even get it at Macy's, okay?
Wow.
And so they had to get it, and then they wouldn't let me keep it. It's like
What?
who else is putting it in there? Who else is getting it on them?
Who else is going to fit them ostrich eggs?
Yeah, that seems wrong. That seems suspicious.
Yeah, that's fucked up. It's also fucking undergarments. You can't reuse that. On the
Yeah.
You got it. What are you gonna do? Carry nuts and berries home from the woods?
So like a baby Bjorn for 4
Yeah.
Yeah, Booby Bjorn. Yeah.
Booby Bjorn.
Booby Bjorn.
Aparna, did you steal anything from the corporate set?
Well, because this season was
Hampton
the last.
DeVille.
No, it's.
Sorry. Earlier, literally 3 hours ago, I said, "What's the name of the company on corporate?" And I couldn't remember, and it just came to me. Continue. What did you steal?
You're correct. No, because the last season was the final season. They basically gave away everything.
That's fun.
But even for wardrobe, there was stuff that they wouldn't let you keep because it goes back to some warehouse. You're right. Sometimes I guess they have stuff they rent or whatever. But then it's like, what? Why don't you just rent everything?
Right. Also, it's like, I've had my period in these clothes. You know what I mean? Like, don't let anybody else wear these. These are mine. These are mine. That's just a fact.
So you're saying every actor should somehow mark their clothing up?
Yeah, and I'm not
Yeah.
saying I'm not saying I marked them even. I'm not even saying, you know, I had an accident in
Yes.
the clothes. I'm just saying that once you menstruate in an outfit, it's yours.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
One time I wore one pair of Spanx and it wasn't doing the trick, so they put on another pair of Spanx, but then they had to cut the original pair of Spanx so that it fit under the second pair of Spanx, and so they cut it with me in it, and they were, you know, doing the shears right around my genitals, right? And they were like, "We're not going to cut you. Don't worry, we're not going to cut you." And then they cut me, okay? And then so it's like it's personal, you know, it's a personal injury, and I'm in these, and they asked me to give them back after they cut them around me and pierced me.
Whoa,
I gave
that
them
feels like you can sue for that.
You gotta sue for someone cutting clothing while on your body.
You have to sue.
You have
Gotta.
You owe it to the legal system. To
Get
sue.
that litigation going, girl.
That's terrible. Did they like? Okay. They knew they did it. Like, do they feel bad? Or because it sounds like they're kind of asked. This sounds like.
Or
people who
did
are
you
kinda-
not say anything because it also feels uncomfortable to be like, you just cut me down
Just nick
there.
my labia. What the
Well,
fuck?
I mean, I think at that point you didn't really. That's the beauty of these kinds of injuries. You don't have to say anything, because they feel it. They say, "Oh, I nicked the labia. Oh, I nicked the labia."
Ooh. Maybe
They
they
say-
sent you that Ethernet cable as a.
She goes, she goes, "Whoops," and that was all I needed to hear. I thought that's enough.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's So yeah, I have some freaking enemies. Okay, so yeah.
Wow.
But they didn't do that on
wow.
purpose. You are still universally beloved. They were not.
Right.
they were
if
not
someone was-
nicking your private parts on purpose.
You think if someone was beloved, I think they'd ask you to take off the pants before they started trimming. That's what I think.
Okay. I mean, maybe.
I don't know. Was it like 5 minutes to what is this? Tonight Show? Where were you doing? Like, what was this?
5 minutes to air.
5 minutes to
5
air.
minutes to air.
People are panicking. Kermit the Frog's running around backstage, arms flailing like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing in front of a car dealership.
Right.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So they were on a clock.
they were on a clock.
How are your relationships going if your partners aren't in earshot? Just curious. You guys hanging in? You doing well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I think it's going all right.
Yeah, it's hard being around a person all the time.
It really is.
I'm really
there are things
struggling.
you don't even realize that will come up.
Por ejemplo.
For example, like I am used to working from home, but then he has only been working from home mainly this past year. And I realized if one of us wants to start talking to the other one in the middle of the day, you kind of have to be like, wait, is this an okay time to talk to you? You can't just start talking to them.
Yeah.
And a couple different times, one or the other of us has started talking, and the other person will be like, I'm doing something.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I understand now what's going on with myself.
What do you mean?
What do you
I-
mean?
I'm always the one that wants to talk. And now I understand why it's not good.
I'm the same way. Like, I'm very like any thought I've had. I'm like, you want to hear it? Guess what? But you know what this bitch do? He
Put on
stay
headphones.
with a damn podcast in his ears.
That's what I've been doing.
Rude. I can't hear. I said I could die and his ass wouldn't hear my screams. Because he listening to fucking Democracy Now! He can't hear nothing. He can't hear nothing when he had a podcast in his ears. And that's what I resent.
It's not great.
I've learned to start writing my thoughts down, and this has been an entire relationship long lesson Naomi's been trying to teach me. We've talked about this in other episodes, but that like I don't have to say every thought that comes into my head. I don't have to interrupt things. I don't have to interrupt a conversation to say a thought that's popped into my head. And so I've been writing stuff down, especially late at night if I have a thought about something. Like, hey, I wish Mitch McConnell exploded. I don't have to say that past 10 p.m.
Right.
All right?
Right.
I can write it down and then send the prayer into the universe.
Right.
A secret into
Yeah.
the universe. I have a vision board. It's all just pictures of Mitch McConnell with his head blowing up like scanners.
Well, I do think, okay, can I just also recommend something?
Please.
Yeah.
This is, okay, so like, yes, it's not good to I always want to tell my partner everything, and he never wants to listen to me. But I think that maybe that what I've developed recently is figuring out a times table where it's like, if I have a really nagging thought from like 5 p.m. until 2 a.m., there's somebody I know that's going to be available. Okay.
Yes.
If it's like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., I know who else. And so it's kind of like I know who's around, who's more responsive in that time.
Shifts.
Yep. I hear that. Yeah, that's a good call. I feel that way. You know, do you know Isaac Oliver, writer?
Yeah,
Wonderful
yeah.
Soul? Isaac,
Former guest.
friend of the show. Isaac Oliver is a night owl, and I love that. And when I say night owl, he like goes to bed at like 5 a.m. So
Wow.
in LA, I can talk to him at like 11 p.m., midnight, even 1, and like that is really good for me because that's usually when my brain is kind of going. But everybody on the East Coast is asleep, and most of LA is asleep too, even at like 11, you know? So I'm always like, who can I talk to? It's like that one person who stays up all night long.
You need someone with the same hours as you.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you were a night person.
Well, I just don't really sleep. I'm certainly not a morning person.
She's not a.
I'm not a morning person, so I think I'm just by default.
She's not an awake person.
I'm not an awake person. Because basically, it's not even like I'm, what's the word? Like, Andy, I feel like you get stuff done. You're productive at night, like when it kind of gets quiet.
Oh, I love it. I love it. When the crickets are out, that's when my brain's working.
I actually work better during the day. I need sunlight.
Oh.
And then as soon as that light is gone, I'm like off the clock. I have a farmer's clock. You know what I mean? I think I have an internal farmer's clock.
I'm just saying there's a tincture for this.
Tell me about that one.
I don't have this problem, but honestly, if you take the quiz and you find out
At
your flaw,
naturedirect.com.
Naturedirect.com.
All
yeah,
right.
naturedirect.com. Yeah.
Wait,
All right.
before we go, I wanted to go back to something.
to before.
To before. Like I said, any of us can do it. I'm the one who's been taking advantage of the fact that we are unstuck in time like Billy Pilgrim. You started a question where you were like, you guys are beloved. And you started saying that. And then I'm like, no, add you into that. And then I don't think you ever asked the question.
Oh.
I don't remember. See,
Something about like you guys being and I'm saying this, all three of you, depressed but beloved. Is it tough to?
I think
that something?
I think that maybe it's I thought that maybe the question was asked, but maybe I think also that maybe the thing is like maybe people. Okay, so like my friend who never went to high school got voted best personality in our yearbook.
Really?
Okay, so I think it's just.
You mean they never went, like they missed a lot of days?
She missed a lot of days, and she got voted best personality. Okay, so I just think that it's like maybe it's like this thing where it's like maybe people, I don't know. I think maybe if you like, you just, I don't know what I'm getting at, but maybe it's just this idea that like, I think that people are when you are depressed or
Absence
feeling.
makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
They don't really see you much, so they're like,
They're filling in a lot of blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Aparna and I have talked about this before, but it's like this idea that whenever we say a cuss word, people are like, did you say a cuss word? And both of us have said cuss words. We're
Yeah.
Like all the time.
we're middle-aged women. We're definitely saying cuss words.
Yeah. That's funny. It's funny. I don't think of y'all as like babies or like squeaky clean.
People all
Right.
the time they say you guys are the most Christian comedians we know.
They're the most
Clean Christian
chaste
Yeah.
women.
Chast. Oh my God. You guys, thanks for talking to us. Honestly, because we came in a little frazzled,
Yeah.
but
I
we really
believe-
appreciate this time.
Yeah. I believe like the original intention, a good vibes, we immediately spoiled with the panic.
But then we brought it back, though. I felt like I was lolling. I said I got to get some tinctures.
Yeah.
And, I'm just really proud of how far we've all come.
I think it's very relatable for what being alive feels like right now, which is that something upsetting happens and then you're asked to go on with your day.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Hey.
true.
Do you guys want the website?
Yeah. But I kind of deduced it from the name.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's a twist. I thought it was just naturesdirect.com.
Oh yeah, I guess I did tell you guys the website. Okay.
It's like an old website. It's like geocities.com.
Oh, right.
Backslash
angel fire
That's Nature's Direct.
It's
and
deep,
it's like they send
deep
you,
in there.
and they literally send you an unmarked bottle of oil.
Oh.
It's like literally you have no idea what's in it.
Joe and Aparna, thank you for bringing some joy.
Thank
and
you
light
so
into our
much.
lives.
I mean, you are my tincture for people who are joyless. You two are
Hey.
my tincture.
Call us mustard then.
That's it. Yeah.
You guys, we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Cup of apples therapy. Cup of apples therapy.
Well,
I love you guys both so much. That was really good for my
Yeah.
soul.
I miss you guys so much.
I know. You guys are magical.